It's time to get the week started. We've got news, we've got trailers. It's going to be a good week, I hope. Let's get started with the old news. And we start with an oldie but a goodie. Hades has become the highest rated game of all time on PS5 and Xbox Series X. Shocking no one. Next story. There's not really, it's one of those things where it's like, well, how many games are there really out on the Xbox Series X and PS5? But yeah, it's currently sitting at a 94 and 93. Are they using Metacritic? They are using Metacritic as their thing here. Demon Souls was at a 92. And Borderlands 3, which is currently sitting at a 91. Weird. Ori and Will of the Wisp and Microsoft Flight Sim are the other two at 92 and 90 on the Xbox. Yeah, that's it's kind of a weird ranking. It's kind of a weird headline as well, because, like, first of all, how important is Metacritic and yada, 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 yada. All I'm saying is reviews are dumb. Next bit of news. Let's check out the review thread for Psychonauts 2. Currently sitting at an 87 average with 53 reviews. We're going to be checking this out after JPNN and trailer time today. But for now, we will read some of these headlines. Holy shit, the people like this game. People enjoyed this game. Easy Allies. Psychonauts 2 is an intoxicating mix of creativity and passion that makes for an unforgettable game. 9.5 out of 10. Everyone's favorite after today's episode of the MCU crew, Paste Magazine. There's a long fucking headline here. Too many of these games fall into that witless trap of thinking someone serious and important must also be humorless and dark, unrelentingly grim and fatalistic. Psychonauts 2 reveals that for the nonsense that it is, showing it can be powerfully and realistically depict emotion when you use warmth, humor, humanity, the whole scope of emotions that make us who we are. Psychonauts 2 asks, how does it feel to feel? And then shows the answer to us and the games industry at large in brilliant colors. I can't believe that guy got through that review without just filleting himself to death. Holy shit, that fucking paragraph that I just read. God damn. Attack of the Fanboy. Psychonauts 2 is a long time in the making, but the wait has certainly been worth it. 4.5 out of 5. Game Informer. Well worth the wait and better than the original. Psychonauts 2 hits its stride early and never loses steam. 9 out of 10. Fucking hell, this game's getting hyped up. GameSpot. Psychonauts 2 does more than just fill the shoes of its beloved quirky predecessor. It sets itself apart as a classic in its own right. PC Gamer. Improved platforming underpins a glorious return to one of gaming's most inventive and empathic universes. 89 out of 100. These are like pretty good reviews. Psychonauts 2 recaptures the humor, heart, and much of the creative magic of the original game with modern refinements that make it more pleasant to play. While the combat still feels a bit clunky and outdated compared to the rest of the game, fans of the original will no doubt delight in revisiting old friends and making new ones in this charming adventure. 8 out of 10, EGM. And now for everyone's favorite video game review website, IGN. Even with a few rough edges, Psychonauts 2 is just about everything I could have hoped for. from this long-awaited sequel. 8 out of 10. And for any Londoners, The Telegraph says, prepare to go insane in the brain with one of the year's most imaginative interactive experiences. 4 out of 5 stars. They just keep on coming. Polygon, unscored review. Well, we got to read what they got to say. Psychonauts 2 levels are some of the most inventive in the platforming genre. There's an over-the-top... Not going to read the rest of that spoiler. There's also a humongous... Not going to read that spoiler. You'll visit highly imaginative, gravity-bending dreamscape after dreamscape. Okay, thanks, Polygon. I just like flat out spoiled 2 of the levels right there. So, sounds like that game's pretty good. We'll be, forming our own opinion a little bit later today. I'm excited for that. What else is here? A new title update for Assassin's Creed Odyssey is going to be deployed on August 24th. That's tomorrow. Adding 60 FPS support when running the game on Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5 through backwards compatibility. Cool. That's a good update. Assassin's Creed is good. You should play Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Probably the best of the 3 when it comes to the new resurgence of Assassin's Creed. Valhalla being the latest, Odyssey being the second latest, and the first being Origins, the one that takes place in Egypt. Valhalla's the best. You're entitled to your own opinion. Also, you're wrong. All right, what is this? Well, that's a headline. Unity workers question company's ethics as it expands from video games to war. Vice.com and Patrick Klepek report the lack of transparency around the game engine's makers' GovTech work, which contracts with the Department of Defense, has concerned employees. They got to get that DoD money. According to 3 sources Waypoint talked to, some Unity employees might develop technology that ends up with the military's clients without even realizing that's how their work would be used. These sources, a mixture of current and former Unity employees, were granted anonymity to avoid reprisal. According to these sources, the part of Unity that's pursuing government and military contracts is sometimes nicknamed GovTech, which the company described in a public presentation from March 2021 as intended to, quote, develop technologies across our products that helps the government adapt AI and machine learning. One internal memo, titled GovTech Projects Communication Protocol, which was shared with Waypoint but not distributed widely within Unity itself, outlined how the company should talk about these contracts with, quote, internal and external stakeholders. It makes clear Unity understands the delicate line it's walking. Quote, we need to be sensitive to the various values and beliefs which people perceive our engagement with the government, specifically the DoD, reads the memo, which instructs managers to use the terms government or defense instead of military. Jesus. Wasn't Microsoft pretty public about, don't they use Microsoft controllers to fly drones? I think is what it is. And they're also developing headsets or something like that. They're using submarines to what? I can use an Xbox controller to drive a submarine? What the hell? Huh. Under don'ts, the memo instructs employees to, quote, not discuss any projects that involves the use of simulated or virtual weapons or training to harm another person. Huh. I mean, I think the idea, granted, I haven't read the full article and I'm not going to read it because it's quite long. I think because it's also quite in depth. Jesus Christ. I do think the idea that a company that makes video games or makes a video game engine is also making games for the government is generally, you know, whatever. I think the idea that they were trying to hide it, that's probably where the issue comes from. They need to try to be as transparent with that shit as possible. Because the government and the military are going to use whatever they want to use. When it comes to the tech bullshit, but to hide it, that's a little bit unfair. Yeah, they're normally very transparent. I think Microsoft is actually pretty transparent about all that stuff, if I recall correctly. But yeah, don't hide that shit. We've got another review thread, chat. Aliens Fireteam. I think me and Co might check this out potentially on Friday is what we talked about. I don't know if I need to follow up with them and see if that's still the case. With 32 reviews, it's currently sitting at a 72 right now. Wonder what's wrong about it. Ars Technica says Aliens fans with friends should buy, as should anyone hungry for a more focused take on the online co-op combat. Solo, offline players should tread extremely cautiously. Destiny and Borderlands fans may be unmoved. GameSpot says Aliens Fireteam Elite is a surprisingly deep third-person shooter with tight, enjoyable multiplayer action that has enough variety to tease multiple return visits. 8 out of 10. IGN says there's plenty of wild shoutouts with swarms of xenomorphs and Aliens Fireteam Elite, but some awkward pacing and repetitive level design prevents it from being a classic. 7 out of 10. PC Gamer says a fun and flexible swarm shooter that's a little too reliant on being played alongside friends. 73 out of 100. Seems like a little bit fun with friends is kind of what I'm getting for these reviews. Okay. This game only needs to do one thing, and it only needs to do one thing right for it to be fun. It needs to have the little radar that the person holds in front of them. And the beeping needs to get more rapid the closer that they get. And if it has that, then this game's probably pretty okay. Probably pretty okay. Also, it needs to be able to find some friends for you. All right. What else do we got? American McGee wants your thoughts and ideas on his next Alice Games story outline. Oh, he started a Patreon. The Alice Asylum narrative outline PDF is now publicly accessible over on my Patreon. You can join in the crowd design process even if you aren't a patron, though you should feel cheap and dirty if you do. I mean, it's like $1 a month. Come on, man. How many folks does he have supporting his Patreon? 3,299 patrons. Wasn't there some drama around American McGee once upon a time? Something like that. I feel like he did something. But I honestly don't remember. It's hard to keep track with all that shit. Usagi and Noodlebit, thanks for those tier 1 subs. Appreciate that, guys. Devil May Cry stylish combat was the result of an Onimusha bug. What? SiliconEra.com reports to commemorate the 20th anniversary of Devil May Cry, series creator Hideki Kamiya took to Twitter to share interesting developmental details regarding the inception of the franchise. While some of the information is already known, such as Devil May Cry having started out as a prototype for Resident Evil 4, it was revealed that the stylish combat the series is known for was born from a bug in Onimusha. Kamiya revealed on Twitter that Onimusha was in production in another department on the same floor at the same time, and that a bug that resulted in enemies flying into the air inspired what would become the stylish combat seen in Devil May Cry. Kamiya witnessed the bug and immediately went to programmer Kazunori Inoue to say, "I want to hit enemies and see them fly into the air." Inoue then began working on a system to implement this feature. Didn't Rami once say that all video games are born from bugs? I think he said that once upon a time. Turns out that motherfucker was right. That old Rami guy's pretty smart. Oh, Ollie's going somewhere. We got a teaser trailer for the Destiny 2 Survive the Truth showcase tomorrow. We'll take a look at that during trailer time. We're going to be watching that, so you can check the JPNN special report once that airs tomorrow, or you can join us live. It's happening at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. I think it's going to be about an hour long. I don't know how I feel about Destiny anymore. Maybe I'll jump in. I don't know. We'll see what they show. I'm sure they're going to show shit tomorrow where I'm going to be like, well, that looks so cool, man. It looks so incredible. I need to play that. And then it'll come out and I'll grind a bunch and 2 out of the 6 raid members won't. And then I'll get upset and then I'll never play Destiny again for like another year. That's what I'm predicting. We'll see what happens. Eurogamer.net is reporting that Minecraft Dungeon is going to launch on Steam next month. Mojang's enjoyable Minecraft Dungeons now has a Steam page and a planned release date of September 2021. That game was all right. I don't think that game was bad. I think it was, fine. I think it was all right. I don't know. Crusader Kings 3 fans, your favorite game is coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and Xbox One, potentially. Gamatsu was reporting that it has been rated for those 3 platforms in Taiwan. So it looks like we're going to get a console port of that game. Exciting. Now we're getting into the trailers here. What else do we got? There's a preview on IGN. It probably is going to have a video. Yep. There is a new JRPG from former Final Fantasy composer and former Final Fantasy writer. Do we know which ones? Hitoshi Sakamoto, the composer for Final Fantasy XII and Vagrant Story, as well as Kagushige Nojima, who has written several notable JRPGs, including Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy VII Remake. Have a new game coming out called Astria Ascending. Looks to be kind of a traditional JRPG, 2D and style type situation. Looks all right. We'll check out some of those videos, maybe. Oh, this is an Apple Arcade. Hold on. Did I skip over that? Is it an Apple Arcade exclusive? I thought, hold on. I don't think it's an Apple Arcade exclusive. I don't see anything about that in the story. You must be thinking of Fantasia or Fantasia. Fantasian. That's the one that is Apple Arcade exclusive. This one looks to be on Steam and whatnot. Remember how we were talking about hackers and aimbots and how they function? Well, I guess because of that technical preview that folks played recently, someone gave the code to some script editor or cheat service, as there are already hacks available for Battlefield 2042. Game's not even out yet. People have already got aimbots for it. And so begins the war. Okay. Yeah, I guess, you know, the Frostbite engine has already probably been cracked from a hacking perspective, but yeah. Well, it's bound to happen. It's going to happen anyways. You know, it's bound to happen. It's how it goes. I feel like I've reported on this story before. Chat, you'll have to correct me if there was something similar from this. But head writer Stephanie Zacharias, let's go with that, departs the Fallout London team to join Bethesda Game Studios as an associate quest designer. Didn't someone else from a Fallout mod something or other leave and join? Once upon a time? Didn't that happen? I don't know. Fallout London, which is a mod. That's what I'm saying. It's like a mod for Fallout. They hired away over at Bethesda. Pretty good way to define people, obviously. So, well. Here's an interesting story. Gamasutra.com, which we use very often for news, is getting into the game industry. They are becoming a game developer or something. I don't actually know what this means. It says Gamasutra is becoming game developer. Oh, are they rebranding to game developer? Oh, it's a name change, but why are they name changing to game developer? What a stupid name. The time has come to respectfully lay rest the name Gamasutra. Is that what Gamasutra literally translates to? Is game developer? It's not as stupid as Gamasutra? Maybe because I've used it and seen it so much. I don't think Gamasutra is a bad name. They should just name it to game fucking. Just because it has sutra in the name doesn't... Chat, you guys are too horny. You guys are just consistently horny. Just nonstop. Just consistently. Just go jerk off. Get it out of your system before you join the stream. Jesus fuck. Time has come to respectfully lay rest to the name Gamasutra, a title that's been around for nearly 25 years and has become known as a leading resource and a reference for game development and industry knowledge. Okay, so it's a name change. I don't think there's any... Oh, here it is. This update isn't only aesthetic or functional. We're continuing to develop new ways to empower and inform our audience editorially on top of the industry news coverage. We're able to renew our commitment to specialized game developer-centric pieces. And starting day one, you can expect world-class articles written by game developers, talented contributors, and game developer staff. Speaking of, here's an update on game developers' lean, mean, actually pretty nice staff. And then they talk about Alyssa McAloon, Bryant Francis, Chris Kerr, and Chris Graft, the editor-in-chief, senior editor, news editor, and publisher, respectively. There you go. That's that. Back to the news. There's a Phantom Abyss update called the Overturned Update. What does the update do? There's a trailer for it, so we'll watch that a little bit later today. Delivers a bunch of new content, features, and fixes as we prepare to further expand the game throughout early access. 28 new trap-laden chambers, including treacherous rotating rooms that will turn your adventure upside down. Other updates include fixes to network connection issues, back-end stability, as well as new visual cues and upgrades to trap doors, the portal screen, foliage, relic room doors, and much more. You know who really liked Phantom Abyss? Gassy Mexican. He really enjoyed that. She's calling you, Ollie. What else do we got? Bunch of game reviews for stuff. SportsGamersOnline.com is reporting that the WWE 2K relationship is, quote, seriously strained. Wasn't that last WWE game like absolute dog shit? Like just completely like just god awful. I don't know why WWE keeps that around. Then again, WWE hasn't had the best record as of late in terms of being everyone's favorite wrestling. So it's probably how it goes. Oh, Marifro, I'm so sorry. Please message Twitch and get those subs refunded. I got to be streaming Final Fantasy if you want to claim that mount, unfortunately. What else do we got here? Was there any news over the weekend? I'm not really seeing any. Jesus, Ollie smells awful. The Soulja Boy news? Yeah, there was that Soulja Boy. Apparently, Atari had to put out a press release to say that Soulja Boy is not affiliated with the Atari brand anymore. I don't know what the fuck that's about. Well, I don't really know where that's, you know. He claimed to be CEO. Soulja Boy, you strange. PCGamer.com reports on it. Atari denies it is owned by Soulja Boy. Sub-headline: The clown car never stops. The modern form of Atari is a zombie. A bunch of post-Glory Days companies that have acquired the assets and IPs of one of the greats and used them in all sorts of slightly questionable ways. We've had Atari casinos, concepts for Atari hotels, dabbled in crypto, the nice-looking but wildly overpriced Atari VCS relaunch. And most recently, of course, Atari got into NFTs. Well, if that wasn't all mad enough, now the rapper Soulja Boy has taken to social media to declare that he, the one and only Soulja Boy, now owns Atari. He's pretty explicit about it too. I own Atari, the first rapper to ever own a video game company. Soulja Boy adds that Atari is apparently going to buy Soulja Boy Console Company for a cool $140 million. I signed 2 deals with Atari, says Soulja Boy, before exhorting his followers to find Atari on Twitter. We got to take it to the next level, know what I'm saying? Not that acquiring Atari was Soulja Boy's only announcement of the day. I just signed Tom Hanks' son, Chet Hanks. He's got some fire music coming out. Gotta respect the hustle, I guess. Nah, this is a great comedic article. Now, Atari itself seems to have been unaware of this change in affairs, and shortly after Soulja Boy's announcement, took to its own Twitter account to clarify that current CEO Wade Rosen is still very much the CEO, as well as the major shareholder. He tweeted out, "We know that the CEO of Atari is a dream job, but that honor belongs to Wade Rosen." That didn't stop Soulja Boy, who, as well as posting his usual bromides on Twitter last night, took the time to post an article repeating the claim he's the first rapper to own a games company. What exactly is going on here is as clear as mud, though. As clear as mud. Though if one thing seems to be certain, it's that Soulja Boy doesn't actually own Atari. I've reached out to Atari to ask about the nature of its deal with Soulja Boy. The company simply pointed me towards Atari's recent tweet regarding the matter. Oh boy. Slow weekend. I don't know, Dental Phobia. I had not heard about that. Mecha Morty has joined Rick Sanchez in Fortnite. Yay. Fortnite's probably too smart for me now. I probably don't understand it. Well, I think that's going to do it then for the, the news. I thought we were going to have a little bit more here on Monday. It is Gamescom week, though. I'm sure most of the news will happen tomorrow and Wednesday. We will cover all of that very closely and bring you guys the news tomorrow. Wednesday's JPNN will probably be a lot later in the day, but we will have Drop Frames restreams of the opening night live. We'll be covering Destiny and Xbox tomorrow solo. Dan's Gaming is going to be joining us on Wednesday with the usual crew for both opening night live and the little 30-minute pre-opening night live show that they're doing. So we'll have all that gaming goodness brought to you by the Drop Frames crew and the Gamescom coverage, courtesy of Jeff Keighley on YouTube. So you can look forward to that. But for now, we're going to get out of here and call it a vidya and go watch all these trailers that we got to watch. So thank you so much. Feel free to hit the follow button on your way out. If you're not already, you can toss a like onto the video and or drop a comment. Maybe we can put something here for folk that watch the whole video, and only those videos watchers will be able to understand the comment. So if you've watched the video up until this point, comment with the word banana phone. Very simple. Very simple. Okay? Banana phone. Ollie, stop trying to eat my wire. I gotta go. The dog's trying to eat my wires. Thank you guys for watching over on YouTube. For everyone else on Twitch, stand by. We'll be back in just a sec for trailer time. We'll see you guys tomorrow for JPNN. Bye-bye.